I want to just do this video about being able to look at your brother and see the good in him. It is a that old man that a lot of people have to put off of. Once they get into this truth, you'll find yourself still putting off of. It is that old man has a tendency to look at each other and see the worst of each other. And when I say the worst, I mean you can look at a brother, you know all his bad habits, all the things that he does wrong. He doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. I know exactly his routine. He does this at this time. And all this may be true. All of it may be true, and you right on point. But notice how many people who can be that descriptive about noticing all these bad things about a person cannot be nowhere as descriptive about noticing another person's all their positive traits and all their positive qualities. You can go very, very deep, very, very descriptive, and very, very analytical when it comes to a brother's weaknesses. Oh, this brother, he don't know this breakdown, and he don't, come to class, just but once every other day or whatever, and that brother, and he also you know be going off on these breakdowns, and that brother, and also he can't keep a job. Fine. All this about one brother. Let's say that is true. Those things brothers need to work on. But pay attention. How many times do you see brothers who are as descriptive about that same brother's strengths? Oh yeah, that brother, all right, all these weaknesses that brother has, man, that brother, he's really good in the Hebrew. And that brother, he comes to camp on time. With his brother, will give, charity in a heartbeat. This brother, has opened his homes, his doors for brothers. This brother, he's a very good expert at the Book of Maccabees. He knows that those Book of Maccabees really, really well. This brother's very, very creative. He has very, very descriptive dreams. Always, I notice a lot of times on Wednesdays or Thursdays, this brother's always hitting a group chat up with articles and stuff like that. That's when we get in that scission, that knife, and that scalpel. How we can dissect brothers and see all the bad traits that they have. Can you dissect brothers and look at all the good, positive attributes that they have? That's the balance right there. That's being able to see the Yahawashi in the brother. This is Proverbs 144. Proverbs 144. So help you brothers remember Proverbs, the 14th chapter and the 4th verse, 144. It says, Proverbs 14:4, where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. What does that say? Ox. Where there's no ox, the crib is clean. You're good, it's clean. When you have an ox, you're going to have a dirty house. It's going to be, you have to pick up more stuff around. It's more maintenance. But just like how these are the negative attributes of having the ox, here are the positive attributes of having an ox. But much increase is by the strength of the ox. So looking at all of the bad qualities about this ox, he brings you far more good qualities than he does bring you bad qualities that almost negates that. So you got to be able to look and see all of the attributes of a brother, not just the bad. And not just say, okay, yeah, I do look at the good as brother. I said that the brother's, a good reader, or the brother's, he's a good brother, or he's smart. Nah. If you can be just very descriptive and all detailed about looking at another brother's weaknesses, you should be able to be that descriptive at looking at the brother's strengths and being able to see, all right, man, this brother is very, very detailed. You can be detailed in his weaknesses, be detailed in that brother's strengths. And it requires you to look at that brother and examine him and see the good in him. That's that worldly eye shall be evil towards thy brother's spirit. If I just look at everybody on this earth, because we all are sinners, and I looked at only the bad in them, I could easily paint a perception that all these guys are bad. Everybody's bad. I don't want to be around them. If I'm only looking at the bad of them. At the same token, if I look at a evil person and look at only the good things that they done, I can convince myself that this evil, wicked person is actually good. Is that saying in the world, love is blind? Hey, well, you better open your damn eyes and smell the bad thing salts. A righteous judgment is able to see good and evil. Not just to see the evil. You got to be able to see both sides of a brother. And you got to be, it's just as surgical and descriptive as you are about noticing every tad bit weakness of a brother. You should be able to notice all the tad bit strengths that a brother has. Meaning, just like how you notice negative things about a brother, the brother might not even notice about himself. You should be able to notice positive qualities and traits about a brother that he don't even know that he got. You should be able to see progress that a brother's making that brother don't even know that he's making. Damn, brother, you get better in the Hebrew. Damn, brother, you get better at breakdown. You get better at speaking. And the brother, he might not even know that. Damn. And you can point out the progress that he made from when he first joined the camp to now. Can you do stuff like that? Oh, damn. I meant to bring out, and it's not too late. Almost got beside. I got carried away. I meant to go on 1 Corinthians 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Chapter 12. Nope. Wait, yeah, it is. 1 Corinthians 12 and 4 says, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Yahweh. And there are diversities of operations, but is the same God which worketh in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discernings of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and the self same Spirit, dividing every man severally as he will. Everybody got different gifts. You should be able to look at a brother and be able to see what that brother's gift is. You can see his weaknesses, right? Can you see his strengths? And that goes from top to bottom. That goes to people in the world. Your co-workers that you don't like, can you still see the good in them? Can you? It comes natural for us to look at the bad. And some of it is, we need to be able to protect ourselves. So we got to be able to spot, the bad. It's easy to overlook the good, but that's why you got to work and train your mind of being able to see the good in the brother. Because I tell you one thing, Sometimes your relationship with a brother may change for the better simply because you are able to raise your consciousness and you're able to raise your self-awareness, where you're able to see some of the good attributes in a brother where you had otherwise just overlooked or may even took it for granted. And that's maturing. And on that note, I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, Bashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the elders, GMS Ruel. Peace and salutations and shalom.